Okay, this video might be a little long because of me ranting for some random stuff, but I feel like I feel that I need to address some things just because it's something that's good and just like where I've come from with making these videos so far. Um, I didn't realize this, but I have over 100 subscribers, and I'm pretty happy about that. Um, yeah, that's pretty cool. Uh, I wasn't really expecting that, but I mean, hey man, the more the merrier, I guess. But as I'm gonna repeatedly say, I just make these videos because I do it for fun. I think it's fun. I like teaching these things, maybe even though I might be wrong and I don't have a proper background in this shit and whatever, but I have looked all over YouTube and searched all over YouTube and I found nothing that can explain Cebuano language in detail or in depth. Most of the videos that I've come by when I look at Cebuano teaching are like vocabulary building and just simple greetings and phrases and stuff like that, and how you say certain things that are already translated for you. And that's great. There's nothing wrong with that. But these videos don't explain the science of why. And me, I like to be a critical thinker, and I'm always wondering, like, well, why is it that way? How come it's this way? What's making it that way? So I like asking myself these questions, and I'm like, okay, well, how does this language function? How is this language in use when I move things around? And the grammar is just something that was difficult to tackle by a lot of people because most people who speak Cebuano were not ever educated in Cebuano about their language. They never took language courses over their own language just because it wasn't a taught language until now, until today. And these people just don't have a formal knowledge of their language. It's just simply a spoken language, whereas Tagalog was more glorified, so to speak, in schools, in Philippine schools. Um, so yeah, that was just one big thing, and my other focus for these videos were to help foreigners mainly, again, just to help them out with speaking Cebuano. I know a lot of foreigners out there who married Filipinos, who want to go visit the Philippines for whatever reason you want, for like sex industry or whatever. I don't give a fuck. Um, for missionaries, I know you Mormons out there who are watching this want to spread your evangelical word of God, the Book of Mormon, and all that stuff. Yeah, I know. I've seen you Mormons out there. I've interacted with y'all on many occasions, not besides just in the U.S. and school and other countries. And I don't know, simply for people who are really bored with their lives and have nothing to do and just want to learn another language and they happen to choose Cebuano. I don't know. Congrats. Good for you. Weird, but I'm here. I don't know why you want to do that, but anyway, I'm here to make these videos and to just kind of help you along the way. And for those of you who already kind of know me, I don't have a formal background in linguistics, but I took linguistic courses in college, and I'm just using what I know to help out because I want to help with this language and develop for future uses and all that stuff, and to help you guys and for other people to find this as a basis of teaching Cebuano somehow. Um, that said, and I also want to point out that I have some Spanish followers, and I keep thinking about making Spanish Cebuano videos in Spanish, or explaining things in Spanish to my Spanish speakers out there who are watching these videos in English. And I know it's difficult. Um, yeah, I I don't know. I might not. I don't know. It's just something I just keep thinking about. I'm on the fence about. Of I don't know. Who knows? Maybe I might make a video in Spanish, so explaining Cebuano. But yeah, and yeah, pretty much that was it. Like I just like on YouTube, just like looking at or searching on like learn Cebuano or how to how to uh how to learn Bisaya or Binisaya or whatever those videos that people type in YouTube when they search. And yeah, somehow I just couldn't find these resources. They're pretty scarce. And I think that's pretty much it before I start this lesson or this video, or I don't know, but yeah, I'm just kind of reflecting and looking back. Anyway, this video is gonna be on the word kumusta, right? And maybe some review stuff too, but kumusta. So kumusta is more like how, like, we use kumusta as a greeting, right? But you can also use kumusta on asking how something is, or how someone is, you know, or what how a status is. You could use it in that matter, and that's why it says the focus on how, right? So let's review. Let's talk about ang for a little bit, right? I'm gonna take you back to the ang, the c, the ang, and the irregular e ang, right? The e suffix that ang changes to among certain words. That this whole group of ang, c, and the e fall under that whole absolutive kind of focus. So like the focus, and these focus indicators are of importance. Like they, once you know, you hear these indicators or these particles, they're changing a focus on something, right? And then for those of you that forgot, ang changes to that irregular e. Like here's an example sentence that I put. So unsa ang imong pangalan? Okay, you can say unsa ang imong pangalan, but it doesn't have a good conversational flow. So that's why we change ang to e, because unsa is one of those words that changes ang to e, like that. It takes the irregular e suffix, right? So it changes now to unsa imong pangalan, which sounds a lot more better, right? And literally it means what is your name, right? Unsa imong pangalan, what is your name? You can also say kinsa too. Kinsa imong pangalan, right? Kinsa ang changes to kinsay imong pangalan, which literally it means who is your name, but they both are asking for name, right? So unsa or kinsa, they both mean the same thing, right? It's just like kinsa means, like, literally if you translate it, who is your name, but we understand that as what is your name. You're asking for the name. So yeah, that's just a little side review for the e suffix. Anyway, so if you see these group of ang words, right, and c, if you remember, c is used for proper nouns, like names, specifically names, right? So these group of nouns are on that focus indicator of importance. When you see them or when you hear them in sentences, you know the focus is going to be over whatever ang or c or whatever is modifying, right? That absolutive kind of focus, right? And then this is the example that I'm giving. So the first one was like kumusta, right? You can use kumusta again as like a greeting or a hello, or just something like that, right? Kumusta ka, kumusta mo, kumusta blah 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 blah. How are you? It's just saying how are you, right? But if you can use kumusta in a matter of asking how a status is, or how something is, or how someone is, you now change kumusta to having this ang and c or e, that group of ang, that focus group, right, followed by whatever status you want to know. You have to use ang and c or whatever, right? You have to use ang because you're starting off a conversation or a topic, and that's the focus of the topic you want to know. It makes sense, right, if you think about it. So if you were having a conversation already, and you had a pause or a brief pause, and you want to change subjects, you can say, oh, kumusta ang blah 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 blah, or kumusta si blah blah blah, right? You're changing the subject now, and that's why this has to be mandatory used in the kumusta blah 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 whatever sentence you want. And that just changes the whole topic or the whole subject that you're talking about with the speaker, listener, whatever, right? So that's why you want to use it, because it doesn't make sense if you're going to use the other particles of like the og series, like the og, kumusta og blah blah blah. It doesn't make sense. It's weird. So you have to use ang, and it makes sense because obviously you're wanting to find out something, and now the focus is on that something. The focus of the conversation is now on that subject that you're trying to want to know, right? So kumusta si Juan, kumusta si Angel, kumusta si Doktor, kumusta ang imong kumusta ang imong pamilya, kumusta ang trabaho, kumusta ang these things, right? How is the work? How's your family? How's Doc? How's the dog? How's life going? How's that kind of stuff, right? So you want to use kumusta with the ang particle series, and that just asks how something is. Kumusta ang, what's another example? I don't know. Kumusta ang tulog nimo? Like, how was your sleep, right? Kumusta ang libro nimo? How's your book? Kumusta si President Donald Trump? Like, all right, how is President Donald Trump? It's weird, right? Bastos, yeah, he's nasty. Okay, anyway, so that's what I just wanted to say. All right, and then our bonus that I put is kuno, the word kuno. And kuno is kuno means like he, she, or it is said, like how can I explain this in English? So it's kind of like those hush hush kind of things, but when you translate it, kuno means more like he, she, or it is said, like something is said, or something is said that's well known by people. So I'll give you an English example. For example, it is said that the doctor knows everything, and I guess I'm just using this example. Kabalo kuno ang doktor sa tanan, right? So, or you also say kabalo kuno si doktor sa tanan. So ang just means like a general doctor, right? The doctor is our focus here. If we use ang, a doctor, we don't know what the doctor's name is. We just know that he's the focus of the sentence, ang, right? If we use si, because both of these are correct. If we use si and ang, kabalo kuno ang doktor sa tanan. Kabalo kuno si doktor sa tanan. If we use si, we now place doctor as a name, like, oh, doctor knows up. Like you're calling the doctor by his name. His name is Doctor. Like, oh, hey doc, that, I mean, we're giving him a proper name, and we informally call him doc, right? Doc, if we're using si, but they both work. Si doc or ang doktor, si doc, si doktor. Kabalo kuno ang doktor sa tanan, kabalo kuno si doktor sa tanan means it is said that the doctor knows everything, right? Or they say that the doctor knows everything, or it's said, like, according to them, the doctor knows everything. It's kind of like that. Kuno functions like that, like according to them, or the people here say that blah 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 blah, or something like it is said that the doctor knows everything. Like, it's kind of like this third person perspective, of it is said that, right? So it is said that blah blah blah. Or I guess, if that makes sense. I'm just trying to think of examples here in English. This is kind of hard. So I guess you can say, like, it is said that the world is round, right? Or they say that the world is round. We don't necessarily know who they are or the third person is. It's just kind of like a generalization, Oh, it is said that the water is blue. They say that you have a fat mouth. Or I don't know. I'm just making up examples now, but it works kind of like that, and that's how kuno functions. All right. Generally, that's how kuno functions, but obviously there's more ways that kuno can function in that manner. And I think I might make one more video before I go to sleep. But yeah, it's been awesome.